I never thought a simple joke could change everything. But that evening, in the quiet of our living room, the words I casually tossed out were the last straw, the trigger that revealed a truth my wife Vanessa had been trying desperately to hide. My wife Vanessa had always been clever, quick-witted, and full of life. Her laughter could light up a room, and her charm had been one of the first things that drew me to her. I loved that about her. I trusted that about her, or so I thought. Our marriage had seemed solid for years, built on shared goals, late-night talks, and quiet mornings. I, Jacob, managed a construction firm, long hours and high-stakes projects keeping me busy. Vanessa ran her small event, planning business, juggling clients and deadlines with a grace that always impressed me. We balanced each other, my calm, grounded approach against her dynamic, energetic spirit. Life was hectic, but we made it work. Yet subtle shifts had begun creeping into our relationship, missed calls, fleeting looks at her phone, whispered texts when I wasn't around. At first, I dismissed them. Work stress, busy days, minor distractions. But over time, those small anomalies piled up, forming a pattern I could no longer ignore. Something was off. Something was being hidden. It all came to a head that night. We were having dinner, laughing about mundane things when I made a joke, one that referenced Ryan, a name that had floated around in our conversations only. Fleetingly, a colleague of hers who had always seemed a little too friendly. "Careful, Vanessa," I said with a smirk. "Don't let Ryan hear this, or he'll think he's the star of the show." I expected a laugh, a quick smile, nothing more. But her reaction froze me. She stiffened, her fork paused midair, eyes wide, pupils dilated in panic. The confident, charming woman I had known for years suddenly looked small, exposed, like a child caught in a lie. That single moment, that reaction, told me everything. She knew I had discovered her secret, and in that instant, our entire world shifted. I didn't yell. I didn't confront her immediately. I let the pause stretch, letting her realize that the mask she had worn so carefully was gone. The joke had been a test, a subtle probe, and the truth had revealed itself without a word from me. That night, our marriage was still intact, but the foundation had cracked, and I knew there would be no pretending it was. The same again. After that dinner, the atmosphere in the house changed. Instantly. Vanessa moved through our home, cautiously, a subtle tension following her like a shadow. She avoided my gaze, checked her phone more discreetly, and spoke in clipped sentences. But I didn't need to ask questions. Her reaction to my joke had told me everything. She knew. I was aware of Ryan, the secrecy, the lies, the late-night texts, all of it came into sharp focus in my mind. I began observing her quietly, meticulously. Every message she received, every call she took, every subtle shift in her tone became a clue. I wasn't angry in the chaotic, impulsive way most people might be. I was calm, deliberate, Betrayal demands clarity, not chaos. And I had clarity in spades. The woman I had trusted implicitly had been hiding things from me, not minor things, but a man, Ryan, who had occupied a space in her life she should never have allowed. That weekend, she had arranged a meeting with him under the guise of a work discussion. She thought it was private. She thought I wouldn't notice, but I had already anticipated it. I quietly gathered evidence, messages, photos, timings, everything that would make the truth undeniable. I didn't need confrontation, yet the knowledge itself was power. The next evening, as she prepared to leave for her supposed meeting, I casually mentioned Ryan again with the same light tone I had used before. Her reaction was instantaneous. A sharp intake of breath, a glance filled with panic. That tiny moment confirmed what I already knew. She had underestimated me, assumed my obliviousness, and relied on secrecy to shield her actions. I realized that the only way to regain control was to expose the truth fully, but on my terms. This wasn't about humiliation. It was about reclaiming authority over the life she had tried to manipulate. I planned the revelation carefully, timing it for maximum impact in front of the people who mattered, those who had watched our marriage, those who had seen her smiles, her charm, her carefully maintained image. By the time I confronted her, I wasn't pleading or questioning. I didn't need to. The joke had done its work. Their tension had built perfectly, and the stage was set. Ryan, the hidden figure she thought she could protect, was about to be revealed, not as a secret, but as the centerpiece of her deception. And I was ready to make it impossible for her to deny. The moment came sooner than she expected. I arranged for a small gathering under the pretense of a casual dinner with friends. Vanessa arrived, confident as ever, believing her secret would remain intact. She didn't see me. Sitting in the corner, calm, collected, the evidence carefully displayed on my phone and laptop, ready to reveal the truth. As the evening unfolded, I let subtle hints slip into the conversation. Casual remarks, knowing glances, questions that seemed innocent but were loaded with meaning. Vanessa stiffened, immediately her confidence cracking under the weight of what she knew was coming. The room's atmosphere shifted, curiosity and tension spreading among our friends. Her secret, carefully hidden, began unraveling in real time. Finally, I addressed it directly. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't shout. I merely presented the evidence, the messages and texts she had tried to hide, the interactions with Ryan that proved the deception. The room fell silent. Vanessa's face went pale. Her attempts to explain or deflect died on her lips. The charm and laughter that had once defined her presence were gone, replaced by the raw realization that the life she had been juggling, the lies, the secrecy, had collapsed in front of everyone. Ryan, the backup she had believed would remain unseen, was no longer a shadow in the background. He was exposed, a central part of the story, a silent witness to the betrayal she had attempted to hide. felt a profound clarity. This was no longer about anger, revenge, or spite. It was about truth, accountability, and reclaiming control over a life that had been manipulated. In the days that followed, Vanessa avoided me, her usual confidence replaced with discomfort and regret. I moved forward deliberately, keeping my focus on myself, my life, and my dignity. The betrayal had been hers, but the response, measured, precise, and public, was mine. I had taken control. Without chaos, without losing my composure, walking through our home, alone for the first time in months, I felt a weight lift. The lies, the secrecy, the manipulations, they were gone. Exposure had done its work. Betrayal had been revealed, and I had emerged intact. The lesson was clear. Trust can be broken, but dignity and self-respect can be reclaimed. And as I stood in the quiet of my living room, I knew one thing with certainty. My life, my choices, and my worth would never again be compromised by someone else's deception.